Thursday. Hooray.
What's up, everybody?
Hello, everyone. Look who's back.
Yay! I'm back.
Josh is back from the exotic islands.
Yeah,
Exotic-
I wish.
Yeah, right. We're all like, yeah, that sounds wonderful. We're here. I don't think Tyler's going to join us. He's, I think, up in Michigan or on his way to Michigan, visiting Jocko, which I would think that Jocko would probably join somewhere at some point, right? Like,
True.
I think they would.
Yeah.
One of them would join in.
Especially
Yeah.
Tyler with his equipment. You know, he'd bring a mic or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, man, let me tell you, I'm probably gonna fall asleep during this because we had a change in lifestyle this week. So, little man learned how to crawl over and scale the railings of his crib. So he finally jailbreaked his crib. So we had to convert it into a toddler crib so that he doesn't hurt himself because, inevitably he's going to just, yeet himself over that wall. And so, so we haven't really gotten sleep for squat the last few nights.
How do you toddler proof it?
So you can't. Like, once they're at this point, they will escape.
Okay.
So you gotta start training them to be able to actually go to bed, which he doesn't want to go to bed. He wants to be with us.
Yeah.
So he basically.
It takes a while to train them. My kids took several weeks before they would just be on their own and be okay with it.
Yeah. Before you could throw him in the crib, and he would get bored and then fall asleep, right? Because there's nothing to do in there, so it'd eventually just peter out.
Razor wire.
Wire.
Barbed wire.
Something tells me the CPS would be on your ass pretty quick.
How about an electric collar?
Just shock him
Mm-hmm.
like a dog collar. You just got a little remote,
Yeah.
Or an electric fence. Yeah.
Oh, here you go. What's the status on the garage? Floors done? The floors were finished earlier today, but they're drying.
Nice.
So
I took a picture. I'll show.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It really.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Is it epoxy?
It's a polyaspartic.
Oh yeah, that totally kind of brings the place alive.
Yeah, it makes it look. It goes from being a redneck little shed to an actual place of business.
That's true. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's almost to the point where we can start using it.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend my goal is to get the cars out of my garage. I would like to have my garage back this week. It'd be amazing. So we do need a rug. We actually have a rug.
That rug's for the office, though.
Yeah, it's for the office.
I think we're gonna get a couch and a table and stuff for the main room.
Oh, I just
chill.
paid for the lifts last night. So we ordered. We're starting off with 2 lifts, 1 4-post, 1 2-post. Sad thing is they won't be here until mid-August. So
it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
Dan and I were discussing this. We both need cars, and there might be some news on that coming soon.
Yes, actually, that is hilarious because we literally just a few hours ago were discussing this and completely agree. We actually think that is one of the things that's hurt the YouTube channel is that neither me nor Josh has a personal Ferrari anymore. And so it's we were talking about it. We're like, it's cool that we get all these different cars, but we never really get to dig in on the cars because, I mean, shit, the last 430s we didn't even have for a week before they were sold. Like, what what are we gonna do with it? Like, there's nothing to do with them. There are, I mean, we fix them up a little bit, clean up some things, but it's like, yeah. So we were like, we need some cars that both of us like own, will hold on to for months or even a year,
Mhm.
modify and like take it to events, go do stuff with it. So that
and
is
make content most importantly.
Yep.
yeah, and make some cool content. And um and feel free to put comments or suggestions in this. Yes, we will do a lift install video. I want to install the lift myself. Josh was like, we're hiring someone. So
I mean, I just lifting those 500-pound pieces of metal in the air is scary to me.
mhm,
Because if we drop it, not only could you kill yourself, you could also damage the floor.
Yeah.
true,
Like,
When in
true,
doubt, hire out for that one.
true.
The
Channel
four
needs
posts
more-
maybe we can handle, but
yeah, we do need drawing content. Right here. So funny enough, I think we've kind of consciously decided that we're really going to focus on Ferraris and not in other brands, because ultimately, like, I mean, that's not to say we won't have other brands on the channel, but like, I don't want to buy anything else for the dealership because we know Ferrari's the best. It's kind of our niche, and like, we have not had good experience with any other brand compared to the Ferrari. Excuse me, from the business perspective. So, yeah. What happened to the intern? So, I actually kind of just said, hey, you know what? I was so busy, I didn't really have time to kind of help him. So, he's no longer our intern. We are actually, if someone wants to be our intern, we need an intern.
What? Wait, what do you?
he had his own stuff going on too.
Yeah, he had some stuff going on, like,
Yeah. Just didn't work out.
well, he's awesome. No, like, it's not like we fired him
Right,
because he sucked or anything. It's purely like he was busy, I was too busy to really sit there and teach him everything. And honestly, part of it was he had a limited time in which he could be our intern, and I kind of want someone who can be a longer term,
Yep.
like intern / maybe like employee at some point. But
Yep.
how hard is it to get an allocation for a Ferrari? It depends on the Ferrari.
And
If you want,
it depends on the dealership you work with too.
yeah, there's a lot of factors here. So, I mean, it could be very easy. You could literally walk in on some dealerships and say, hey, I want to buy a Ferrari. And they'll say, great, give me a down payment. Let's do it.
We're
And
talking
you
about
walk
new
in-
ones here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's allocation because, yeah, you only get
Right.
allocation.
Right.
Yeah.
Does it help having a used one, even like if you didn't buy it from that dealer, or does that mean jack?
they prefer it if you buy it from them?
Right.
If you, I'll put it this way, in the scale of like, does it help you? Like, having a Ferrari helps you. Having a Ferrari you bought from the dealership that you're trying to buy the Ferrari from helps you a lot more.
Right.
Basically, it's establish a relationship with the Ferrari dealer that you're trying to get
Yep.
the allocation with.
The only other brand I know of, actually, there's two. One is Porsche. If you want any GT car,
Really.
good luck.
Yep.
And then oddly, Range Rovers,
Huh.
like full-size Range Rovers. There's
Really?
a huge waiting list for those.
What?
Yeah.
Like the top of the line ones that go for over
I've got-
200.
I've got a story I can tell everybody on another time about how I got involved in buying Range Rovers and shipping them overseas. But yeah, it's
Oh, I think you talked to me about that.
it's a whole weird world on those. But yeah, I'm sure there's other brands too, but those are the two that came to mind. I know Porsche for sure is you can't just go buy a GT3.
I like this question for you, Gabe. Are we still in the honeymoon phase?
I still pinch myself once in a while.
I saw your video where you're like, nothing but driving, no talking.
It was, yeah, no, I need to get more content out. people wanted a video driving, and I still don't have a dash cam, so I use my GoPro every time I go out. I usually go out
Nice.
for like 45 minutes to an hour and a half, so the battery will last. So I just have like a tons of footage of just me driving around, but I try to pick and choose and find like the ones that were would be the most fun to watch. So
Have you have
I gotta,
any issues or anything with the car? It's still good.
yeah, it's still it's driving great. Sometimes when I start it, it sounds like only half the cylinder bank starts right away. So what? And then the rest will kick in. I don't
That's
know if
that's
Oh,
not
well?
unusual.
That's pretty
Okay.
normal. I wouldn't worry
Okay.
about
The,
that.
the 360s and both 360s and 430s will do that.
any other 360 owners have that.
The
Yeah.
I did it on
catch-
on mine when I had.
And it's
mine.
only on a cold start because
Yeah.
when it's
if
warm,
it doesn't fire up the other bank, that's a problem.
right.
And a lot of times it's because like the battery's drained.
Well, also
Yeah.
it is a battery voltage issue because each bank has a separate ECU,
Yep.
and so one of the ECUs is not booting up as fast as the other one, and that's why it does that.
Yep.
Yeah, I keep it on a tender so that but either way the other one kicks in within a
Well,
few seconds.
just also keep in mind, just because it's on a tender doesn't mean the battery won't go bad at some point.
Right.
True.
But still, if it starts up and it's kind of stuttering or whatever, and then after like maybe 4 or 5 seconds it kind of flattens out and becomes good,
Mhm.
totally normal.
Old
As-
Ferrari problems.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
it would happen. It would happen like 430. You know, like
Really?
you start having to go, blip, 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 and you're like, what the hell? And also you go, blip, blip, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yep.
I think it's fine.
No, but it's a blast, Josh. It's great.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Drive to
Oh.
Austin. No, I would not drive it to Austin. Too many
Yes, I did see DDE get the Lambo windshield smashed, and that was stupid on the dude's part. For like, you don't just destroy someone else's property, especially when it's very expensive property. But
What happened? Some random guy just hit the windshield or something?
no, like, so the part that they don't talk about is Damon was probably driving like an asshole, but that doesn't justify someone breaking his car, right? Like, you breaking the law doesn't mean someone else gets to break the law.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how the law works. So whatever, doesn't matter. But so some guys like get out in the middle of the street and stop him and start like chastising him and yelling at him and calling him all these names. Well, then while he's like talking to the one guy, some other dumbass literally walks over with a sledgehammer and smashes his Lamborghini's
Holy
windshield.
shit.
And I mean, those are like $5,000+ windshields. So it's actually a really fascinating video because it like ended up like they're having to sue the guy and whatever and blah blah.
So, do you think that staged it all?
that
or
one
no?
I don't think is staged. I think there is definitely DDE
Because
content.
those dudes. I mean, I don't watch their channel. I've watched like a handful of their stuff for a few minutes, and I'm like, I don't know why anybody watches this guy.
I can't
Kind of
take it.
annoying.
I can't. I like
But
Dave
I
personally,
I
but
feel
I
like
can't.
they're probably running out of shit to do videos on because
The problem is their channel's based like the foundation of their channel is like drama, police, breaking shit, all things that are
Yep.
really difficult to have happen over and over and over, right? Like stuff that doesn't normally happen to usual supercar owners. So to the second part of it, have we ever encountered haters? Yes, but never like aggressive haters.
the most hate I've ever got is just people yelling and flicking me
Yeah.
off,
Like you
That's
get
about
flipped
it.
off once in a while. You get someone yelling some stupid
and not
thing.
even
Yeah.
like driving completely normal, like
Yeah.
just and people
Yeah.
do that.
I've been like at a stop sign or at a stoplight, and someone just be F you, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
see you later. I'm sorry your life sucks. That you feel
sorry
like
you have
you
to
gotta-
drive home in your Camry, but
Yeah, like
whatever.
So, yeah, there is. Oh, you've personally had 2 Lambos get vandalized, or, dude, that would
In LA, it doesn't surprise me.
yeah, like that whole area just no thanks. John Zeke, I love DD. No, I would not install my own windshield. That is definitely not.
Yeah.
I've watched the windshield dudes do it, and I'm like, no,
No,
good.
no, doesn't look like something I want to do. Have I driven in a Rolls Royce? I have not driven a Rolls Royce. I've been in a Rolls Royce. It feels like you're
driven.
riding on a couch.
It feels. I rode in a Ghost, and it like when you close the doors and you take off, it's really weird, surreal because it's so quiet. You don't really hear
Yeah. And it's so
outside
comfortable.
noise.
It's
Yeah.
like it's literally more comfortable than my couch.
Yeah.
And the quality of the leather on it is just ridiculous. But
Oh yeah, I got a comment on this dude. This one.
Oh
here.
yes, I think I know. He's in Miami or something.
Oh my god, that
Right?
guy is just.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you love
Anybody
to
that
hate.
buys that guy's course is just an idiot.
so
Like,
the
they're
funny
just-
thing is, you know who paid him a bunch of money?
Who?
Richard.
Really?
Josh.
Well, I'd love to get Richard's perspective.
I
on it.
can't wait to give him shit for that.
So, I mean, credit where credit's due. I feel like he does have a lot of knowledge, but I feel like number one, he's charging a lot of money.
Just for
He's
courses.
charging a lot of money for information that's not special.
Yeah, not really. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, like, good for him. He's doing better than we are.
He does it for he does watches too. He has
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole class he does for watches, like how
Oh,
to flip
God,
watches.
Yeah. Oh, most guys think it's cool I'm driving my phone, but lately, past couple of months, I really only like to go in groups because I'm paranoid about the psycho people in the Bay Area.
That's no surprise.
Yeah,
I don't
feel
blame you
you.
for that.
Yeah.
It's a different culture out there. Okay, here we go. Dealership question: what is typical percentage you buy from a car from someone to have room for you? Like, are you saying how much? Like, if we say, oh, we need a 10% margin, is that what you're saying? Or
I always try to. I mean, buying the car, you have to do a bunch of research and determine what do you think we could sell it for in a worst case scenario.
right?
And I still want that to be more than we're buying it for. We try to. I the starting point is usually 10%, but we usually don't get that.
Yeah, we love 10%. That's the goal usually, but it's usually, I mean, it's weird because you'll have some that you like just the stars align and you make some great percentage, and others like typically you don't quite, because the thing is, like, you might even, okay, so they want to sell it to us and we've got a 10% margin based on where they're selling it and where we think we'll sell it, like where we're buying it and where we think we'll sell it, but then like we got to ship the car, we almost always have to fix something, we like 1,000 pinpricks
Yeah. So
later.
basically, let's put it in numbers. Like somebody comes to us and says, "Hey, I have this Ferrari, I want to sell it," and we're saying, "Okay, I think we can maybe sell that car for 120,000. It's going to cost us 2,000 to ship it. It's going to cost us, we figured what 2,500 in recon. Just maybe we don't have to spend that. Maybe we do. Maybe it's more, and any other expenses that go along with it. I mean, people always
Hell,
find
just
stuff that they
flying
want
out to go
fixed.
look at the car can cost
Flying
a
out to
lot.
go and look at it. So we're okay. So now we're at like, if we buy it for 100, now we're at 105. I think maybe we could sell it for 120. So that gives us a $15,000, in best case scenario, which never happens. So we say, okay, someone comes along and offers us 110. Are we going to take it? And are we going to go through all of that hassle for 5,000 and put our $100,000, $105,000 on the line to make 5,000? We have to make a determination if it's worth it or not. In that case, I'd probably say no, it's not worth it 5,000, because that 5,000 could be negative 5,000 in the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
Yep.
All it takes is one wrong, like new tires, and suddenly that
Yeah.
car is,
Sure.
Yeah.
and that's the problem is like, usually what happens is, I think we typically give ourselves like a floor, and we say we can't go below this price. If we do, it's just not a possibility, right? And so when people make us offers, so long as they're above that floor, we usually will take it. Or, like if we feel like the market says it's worth a lot more, we might kind of, okay, let's not take it yet because we know we can get more. And that's one of the hardest things is like you got to really be like, okay, like, because here's the thing, everyone goes and looks at the market and says, oh, look at all these cars, they're listed, like, so we buy the car for 100, we're trying to sell it for 120, and everyone goes online and says, when they're selling us the car, they don't want to sell it to us for 100 because they go, well, I went online and I see them for 150. We're like, yeah, that's the one that's number one not selling, and number two, it's the one that's got like 2,000 miles and every option known to the human race and whatever. So yeah, of course their car is worth a lot more than your car. So it gets complicated, but
and it's the convenience factor, right? You take it off their hands.
Yeah.
The big value prop you guys offer.
The number of people who we've bought cars from, they're just like, thank you.
Right.
Like, I don't have to
also the number of people that say, I'm going to try to do it on my own and get more, and then they call us later and say, actually, I'm going to go ahead and take your offer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the problem is like, they're like, hey, I'm going to go sell on my own. If they publish it out there at a price that's lower than what we want to sell it at, we're not going to buy the car. Because now we can't even sell it for the price we want.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, imagine the same scenario, right? Someone we offer $100,000 and they go out there and they list it for 115. We're not going to buy the car anymore. That $100,000 offer is gone because we can't. Now, if we buy that car, it's on the internet that it's been listed for 115. We can't just go list it for 120.
Yeah, the internet doesn't forget stuff like that.
No. No. I'm new to Normal Guy Supercar. Can you all explain how you got into the exotic car scene and what you do? Love this content. Well, thank you. We've done videos on this, but basically it was kind of accidental. At least I'm speaking for me. Josh has his own story.
Yeah, totally different stories.
Yeah, but I bought a Ferrari because I wanted a Ferrari, and then I wanted to work on it, and there was nothing out there on the internet. This was 7-8 years ago on how to like work on a Ferrari, so I started filming it, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. And now this is all we do. We buy and sell cars, we sell parts for Ferraris, and make content on Ferraris, and that is my life now, which is shocking.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. I guess I started selling cars when I was in college at a car dealership, and I had worked on cars since I was a little kid, and then I started my own dealership and ran that for 10 years. And I always wanted a Ferrari 360 since I was little. That was the car I had on my wall and everything. And back in like 2016, maybe 2015, I finally, had enough money to buy one. So I bought it and met Dan because of that. Actually, I knew Dan before I had the Ferrari, I knew Dan. And then I got that, and that was when he had just got his 430. And yeah.
Did you know Dan before the channel?
I did, actually.
Really?
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, what'd I do?
Yeah. You didn't. I think you had just bought your 430. Like you had bought it
before I started doing videos.
Before you started doing videos, yeah.
Yeah, I joined the Ferrari Club like immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys meet in the Ferrari Club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, FCA Austin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, I gotta.
Yeah, I think we probably were like, oh hey, you're another person who's under 50.
Pretty much. Well,
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It was Dan and I and two other friends. Loper was there and one other guy that
It had been
comes
Stu.
on. No,
Or
it was
Jeff.
no,
No?
keep going. We did the drive on demand. We did the Turo rental stuff.
Oh, okay, Travis.
Travis.
Yeah.
And we were sitting at a table and Dan was like going back and forth. He's like, should I quit my job and do YouTube full time? And we were all sitting at the table and he was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And we were like, all right, good luck. And I wasn't involved back then, but we did the Turo thing.
That's right.
Which is a whole other
terrible
story.
idea. I wanted to answer this real quick before it runs off my screen.
Okay.
Like I wish it was more permanent. Like I still have issues with my sinuses and stuff. I don't think it was true. I don't know, but it helped. It helped, but I would like more, or maybe I need like they probably need to like really do some stuff in there to really make it permanent. So I don't know.
Yeah. Temp fix.
But yeah, with the absolute insane amount of scams out there, I really wouldn't feel comfortable selling a supercar on my own. I definitely would sell it to you guys. I know I'm not getting scammed. Honestly, that is a huge component of what we have to figure out is this real?
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the reason we just
Yeah, you guys aren't exempt from that.
no, and that's part of like we fly out no matter what now. Like it's just period. We're flying out, we're gonna look at the car. And sometimes that hurts us because like we've had cars that we have deals on and then people sell them from under us because we can't get out there fast enough. You know, just today we lost a deal because we couldn't get out there fast enough. We had a text agreement on a price, and I said, okay, it's going to be like a week or two before we can get out there. And then they came back and said they got an offer for $5K more, and so we're not going to go $5K higher. It would make it so we couldn't make any money. So I said, all right, well, best of luck to you. But
yeah. And also, once we get the building and everything done, we probably are going to do consignments, but we're going to be very selective.
yes. Yeah. I have no plans on going in the Hill Country Drive. Which drive was it this weekend? Huh.
I don't
can't
remember.
remember.
Oh, there is one. It's out to Granite Shoals.
Oh, was it
Who's
like
running it?
Kings Isle or whatever?
Something like that. Yeah. They're going to a burger place out there.
Yeah, Kings Island or whatever. Kings
Yeah.
Isle or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tempting, but
What would you
Yeah.
take? Mustang?
fun.
You turn the light on.
I don't know.
Oh,
Should I say it's? I guess
you got something?
yes.
A little toy?
I guess I don't.
maybe hold off on that.
Do we not want to talk about that car yet?
You
Dan wants to
can if
talk
you
about
want. Go ahead. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, whatever. We'll talk about it. The 575.
Oh. Yeah.
It's driving.
Oh, you posted about that. So I think
Oh
it's-
yeah, I
it's
posted on
public.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just forgot.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
No. Yeah.
Sweet.
I drove it today. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love that car.
I think it's gorgeous.
I would buy that.
We drove it to lunch and we were leaving lunch and it was parked across the street. We are just like, damn.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, I think that is such a good looking car. It's one of those that, like, I stop when I see it and I'm just like, God, like, that is just beautiful car. It is just, oof. Yeah. How often do we go to car meets? I mean, almost never anymore, unfortunately. It just, I don't know.
Well,
Like,
the first problem is the weather is just too hot right now.
yeah.
And obviously we don't have cars of our own, so we're not driving our inventory cars to stuff very often. So maybe when we get cars, we'll do that more.
Yeah.
Well, we need to do that more.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting point. I wouldn't like the idea of selling it to a guy. The car breaks down in a couple months, and now he's at my front door. Ready to leave it to Brooks. Yeah, I mean, we've had cars like there's this weird thing where I swear to God, you sell a car and then like it hates you because you sold it and it breaks immediately. Like it happens a shocking amount of time, where it's like
It's happened to me a lot.
yeah.
It's
like this son of a bitch was perfect, and then just broke.
I wonder if that's because people drive them differently and they just treat them differently. So, like maybe someone's thrashing it or they're not warming it up right, or just difference in driving styles. I wonder
Yeah,
if
it could
that
be. It could
contributes
be.
to it.
Here's an interesting
I've
question.
sold. No, go ahead.
With the 550 being manual, do you think there will be the same demand for conversions on the 575? I mean, I think so because the 575 is a better car. There were updates to the 575 that made it better than the 550. It wasn't just the F1 being available on it. It was other things. And they're newer. So, I don't know. That's an interesting point. But either way, the 550s are going for huge numbers now because they are manual. So like the gap between a 550 and a 575 F1 is like $100,000 right now.
Is it really that high?
Yeah.
Damn.
550, like 550s are approaching 200s and higher, and 575s you can get in the low hundreds. So right there, yes, that will put a demand for conversions because you can buy a 575 and convert it and still be cheaper than a 550, and it's a better car.
Mhm.
So yeah. Speaking of heat, how are the AC heaters in Ferraris? Depends on the Ferrari. Modern stuff is great.
I feel like generally they're
I would
pretty good.
I would
Yeah.
even say 360 and up is
Yep.
totally fine.
Yep, 360 is when it actually
355 is
no.
leaves a little to be desired.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Even the- dude,
mine blows cold. I mean, I'm not in Texas heat,
525 is
but
the 575 is ice cold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'll ever have to use my heater. I doubt it, because I
Up
won't
there?
be driving.
yeah, you will.
I won't be driving in the.
I bet you will.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe late November.
Did I see the 360 manual TDF?
Oh, I saw that. That was crazy.
Holy
It was a,
crap! 220.
yeah, it was like what?
Wait,
was like
manual
I gotta-
TDF. What's
The
a
color.
TDF?
The color. It was
color?
like,
Oh, it's TDF blue.
it had the
Wow,
the race bucket seats. It was a Spider.
Oh,
20
shit.
miles.
But I was still shocked at that. I didn't understand how or why it would go that high. Even
Dude,
people were
'cause-
saying it was the
Because
most
you're
perfect.
holding on the right car right now, Gabe. Because 360s are going up.
I know. I mean, I
you know,
everywhere.
I watched a video by Four Wheel Trader. Do you guys ever
Yeah.
watch those guys?
Yes.
And he just did a video and said that the 360 and the 355 are the only ones that are going up right now.
Oh, that-
Everything else is going down.
Dutch guy or German guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The funny thing is, you know what his data is not saying that I think people need to realize it suggests is now's the time to buy a 458.
Right.
Right. It's low, right?
It's going
Yeah, that-
down. You don't want to
Right.
like if you want a cheap 458, now's the time.
Right.
And
That's
the,
36. That 360 looks badass. I could see why it would go for 220. I mean,
It's just
how
weird
many spiders with carbon buckets that are manual?
Hmm.
I mean, there's probably like none.
The only
that's
thing it's
pretty
missing is
rare,
the challenge
especially-
grill.
Oh,
the
yeah,
only
but
thing
that's
it's
easy.
missing.
You could swap that out easy.
I was saying the 360, it's easy to put that in.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. I guess it's kind of like the stock market in that regard, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not. That's not cars
low
not
stock.
replaceable.
Yeah, I remember when I sold my 430 to Frankie. Poor Frankie. Here's an interesting question. At what point do you guys feel you can say this brand you're building has become successful? When you have your own personal fun cars again? I mean, I don't know.
I wouldn't
that
say that's a
define-
mark of success.
I feel like I put it this way. I feel like it's successful at this point, but it's not where I want it to be. But I would say it's successful in that this is my job. Like it's paying for my bills. So that's arguably success. I mean, it's not. I'm not getting rich. I don't. Have like, just piles of money right now. But it's.
Yep.
And granted, this year in particular, I've sank probably like 4 times more money into the company that I'm going to make from the company this year. But that's okay. I mean, it's part of growing a company, right? But
Yep.
yeah, we're getting there.
No, JS, I'm not planning on selling anytime soon. That would be silly. I have no reason to.
I
do
got first right of refusal anyway, so.
that. No, you don't.
Yeah. I like this. You fly out, you see a Ferrari you like, you fly out to see it. What's the first few things you look at when you get there?
I mean, the very first thing I'd look for is paintwork.
Yeah.
If there's any paintwork, I'm not interested.
Yeah. You start with doing the things you can do while it's cold,
Right.
and you work your way into doing things that you do while it's starting and then driving.
We should maybe do a video, like an in-depth video on like, here's what we look for when
You know what we
walking
need to
up
do?
to a car. Here's what we do.
I thought of just that actually made me think of something really good is let's simulate it, because doing it in person is impossible because you're focused on actually doing the thing, right?
Right.
like that's the thing that's hard about some of the things that we're trying to film is I don't want to film it. I want to do the job I'm supposed to do right now, which is like determine do I want to buy this
Well,
car or not. And
For instance, like I actually filmed when I went out and looked at a 458, but I actually just quickly filmed a few things and then I turned the camera off and did like a real inspection on it because it's too hard to focus on both.
yeah, because you can't do both at the same time. Like if I'm filming, I'm filming. If I'm trying to inspect the car, I'm inspecting the car.
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
oh, I was wondering about when it's where you want it to be specifically. I mean, I don't know. I don't have like a thing that says like here's my like here's the thing where I cross this line, I'm success, right? Like
I mean,
like,
and the thing is, even when you get there, just the bar moves higher. It never.
right?
It's not
Yeah,
going to stop.
it's never going to end.
You're never
This
going to
is
be satisfied, right?
yeah. This is like lots of things in my life. There is no end to it. It's just every time you clear one goal, there's another goal, right? You find new goals and new challenges. If I get bored, if I meet all the goals, I'm bored and it's on to something else. Yeah. And yes, this is huge. Not sitting in a cube behind a computer screen, the fact you can support your family doing something you love is a success.
Yep.
No, I mean, there's something amazing about like, even though like, so like tomorrow, by the way, I can't go to the shop in the morning, Josh.
That's okay.
I'm on daddy duty in the morning because Meg has to do some stuff. But like that was a last minute thing. She sprung on me. She was like, "Hey, this has to happen. So you're on daddy duty." And I was like, "But like if I was doing a normal job, I'd have to like take sick time or
call your
PTO,
boss and say, hey, could I?
Yeah.
I got to do this. Be like
all that stuff just because I got to stay at home probably 2-3 hours watching my kid while Meg goes and does some stuff she needs to do. So like that sort of stuff is really cool because it allows that flexibility.
Yep.
But at the same time, like there's a trade-off, right? Like you don't know, hey, are we gonna have enough money to pay ourselves this month?
Yep.
I don't know. Okay, well,
Everyone's gonna eat their own shit sandwich.
yeah, exactly.
Did you ever work in corporate, Josh?
Not corporate, but I did work for the government.
Okay.
So basically, kind of the same, but a little
its
different.
own animal. Yeah.
Yep. I hated it.
Yep.
Which is why I quit that in like 2014, and I never looked back.
Yeah, there's the 575 was very rare with manual transmissions. It's a very rare car. To take your son to work and let him loose? Not yet. He's too young. That would be disaster. He would get injured and something would be broken, and it'd be expensive. I got probably at least another year, maybe 2 before that point.
Well, and then you got to babysit him because you don't want him like scratching cars and whatever.
It would be a disaster. I like this. I wish Matt from Drive were here to answer. Which point do you consider successful? He would give a quick 3-hour answer starting from childhood, ending with where he sees himself at 90.
It would be a thoughtful answer, right?
It would be. It would be a well-planned answer. He is an interesting character, man. He certainly has.
Did he didn't get a speciale yet? Did he?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him since.
Yeah, I don't keep tabs on it.
That's one thing that's funny is that I generally don't watch that much YouTube, so I'm kind of out of the loop on a lot of the stuff, which sometimes is bad, sometimes is good, but
I watch some stuff, but it's totally not related to cars at all.
Generally, yeah, that's the thing. If I'm watching YouTube, it's probably not car related, or if it is car related, it's like general stuff. Like I was watching a lot of the Goodwood Festival of Speed.
Yeah. All those Goodwood crashes this year. Did you watch any of those?
No, I didn't. I missed those. I was thinking about that. We need to go to Goodwood.
Yeah,
totally.
That'd be badass. I'd be down for that for sure.
Yeah. Oh wow. You got a quote for your mini split,
That-
$5,000.
that's like what I hear for the unit and labor.
Yep,
That's about right.
it's about right. And think of that. We installed 5 of them.
I need to do that.
By the second one, it was like, oh, this is easy.
Oh yeah,
Man,
dude. The
I
last one, we banged that sucker out in like a couple hours.
I should just fly you guys out here and still save money. Pay you.
Hey, we
Interesting.
can come out there.
Would you guys ever consider taking on a new car dealership, like if Lotus came to you and asked? I mean, probably not, because
What do you mean by taking on a new car dealership? What do you mean by
so
that?
like like they want to franchise out their new car dealer and they want you to sell them or whatever. So so for example, CNC Motors, believe it or not, was a new Lotus dealership as well.
Well, Lotus will give a
was it?
franchise to anybody. I had a friend that was offered the Lotus dealership in Austin. He was like,
Really?
a long time ago. Yeah, years ago.
The problem with any new car dealership is they have weird requirements.
Mhm.
So I would honestly say almost definitely would not interest us.
That's true. There's no McLaren, right?
I've
Yeah.
heard rumors that they're working on that.
They told us not to go on the floor. They said we could walk on the floors tomorrow, and they said not to drive on them for at least 48 hours. So we'll probably, I was thinking we'd park cars on it Sunday just to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with waiting until next week just to be on the safe side. We could put everything else back in, just leave the cars out.
Yeah. I mean, there's only really 2 cars sitting outside, and they're both the Mustangs. So, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This like kid's walking around the shop, hits his head on the mirror. Oh no, are you okay, Ferrari? Exactly. Any updates on the CNC? Haven't heard anything in quite a while. Yeah. Is it okay or to have a battery tracker and battery tender hooked up at the same time? Yes, they will not affect each other. Go ahead.
I was going to ask. You know how you can't? Well, you can't jump start a 360 in other Ferraris, but can you start it with the tender?
If the battery is still okay, it will take a while.
And
It has
I don't
to-
plan to do that, but sometimes even just
Like,
turning the key.
If
one
the
turn
battery's
just-
like not enough to start, you plug in the tender, give it like 3-4 hours, and it might be enough to start it.
But would that fry the ECU when you jump it if you have it
No.
on the tender and you start it?
Because the tender is only 2 amps usually. It's very low.
Yeah.
A jump start is just shocking the electrical
just-
system.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too many amps. It can cause problems.
Okay.
The problem with, so we've looked into solar. The problem with solar is like it's $40,000-$50,000 up front, minimum, for like a reasonable system. So I'm not opposed to doing the solar panels. I just, that's a huge amount of money to invest. So I don't know. We'll see. I want to wait and see what our first few AC bills or electric bills look like. And if it's, absolutely horrible, then yeah, maybe we'll buy solar panels, but I don't know.
Yeah, people do.
People use jump boxes on Ferraris all the time, like
It's-
the lithium ones.
It's probably fine on the newer ones. I wouldn't do it on anything older, like 430 and older. I would not jumpstart.
Yeah.
It's one of those. I know firsthand because my car got jump started and it blew out the instrument cluster.
Oh, isn't that when it got delivered, right?
No,
Or-
it was when I took it in for a PPF. I told him don't jump start it, don't, because they like to leave the doors open and whatever.
Yeah.
So I told him don't do it, and they did it, and it blew the instrument cluster out.
Kidding me? On your 360?
Yeah,
So were you on the hook for that?
no, they paid to fix it. It was a few $1,000s.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Gosh.
sucks. The funny thing is, if it's whether or not it's an F1 or a manual, if it's a 430, 360, 575, whatever, you can push start those. You're better off push starting them than jump starting them.
Yeah.
But it has to have a little bit of juice. It has to have enough juice to be able to put the car in neutral. You guys should sell Italian motorcycles like Ducati.
I'm not opposed to that someday.
I know nothing about them though, so I don't want to deal with it.
I do.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the new DeLorean Alpha 5? Why?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's like,
I don't know.
uh,
Look it up.
if you, the modern Ferraris, if you forget to disconnect the tender, it does have a little thing to say to disconnect the tender, which is nice.
I
Because
think
I've
that's
had
430 and up, right? How's
no 458 in the Cali.
that? I thought the 430 had it. The later ones.
No.
Hmm.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure they do. I think it's like 07 and up.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure there's a. I will be happy to eat crow in this, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
I'm looking it up.
Because I remember when I bought my 430, everyone was like, "Oh, like there's a plug and blah blah blah," and it's like, no. Like, I looked everywhere for it, so it's possible maybe it's the 07s later, but I don't believe so. Oh man. Oh
What else, people? Give us questions.
yeah. Oh, I like this question. Are there any must-have options that we look for? that
Can't be
help
silver.
our- Silver hurts. Silver is a difficult color.
Carbon fiber stuff helps.
I mean, it depends on like certain cars. There's certain options. So like on the 458, if you don't have the shift lights on the steering wheel, it hurts a lot. Like for some reason, it just I don't know. I feel like it's more of like there's certain options we know will help it sell versus there's certain options that we require. You know.
Yeah.
I saw that bug.
You saw that?
Yeah,
It's
it was big
it's
enough you could see it.
a stupid moth flying around.
Yeah, he was
It's because
good.
we got to take our dog out every few hours because he's a puppy, and at night there's so many bugs and moths in the front door where we go out, so
Oh yeah.
they all
Yeah.
get in.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. There's nothing I'm like, oh, I'm not going to buy this car. It doesn't have a fill in the blank option, right?
Most of the older ones too. All the options you can get aftermarket pretty cheap if you really have to have something.
Well, and I feel like the older ones didn't have as many options, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the 458 was really where like the options list got huge and it's
Yeah.
way more customizable. Because like on the 430, like the big options that no one got was like no one got the carbon seats. But if you see, like if we see a carbon seat 430, we're like, ooh, want.
Yeah. Also,
Like
the
that.
carbon ceramics on a 430 are pretty rare.
Yeah. Carbon ceramics are nice. Like when we see that, we're like, yes, that's great. And the carbon steering wheel is like rare on that car.
Mhm.
It's a
I mean,
pug, Charlie. Yes, what breed?
if I was buying a 458, I feel like the backup camera is something I personally
Yeah.
would require, but it's not necessarily like I don't know. I mean, they also sell like aftermarket backup cameras, so it's not that big of a deal anymore.
Did you have one in your 360, Josh, on it with a screen?
No,
No.
I don't like the aftermarket screen look in the older
Okay.
cars.
Yeah.
I used the factory radio and just did a Bluetooth adapter for it.
Okay.
What would $250,000 buy you in Austin?
By
Oh.
like car wise,
Car wise?
No, he said houses.
Oh, houses?
nothing.
Not much.
Nothing really. What are you going to buy for 250 here? There's nothing. You can't buy
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, not much of anything.
Are you asking for
So
a friend?
I'm going to totally disagree with this statement. This is people. There are people who say that they must have a suspension lift, and I had it on my 458, and my 458 was lowered, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, there weren't that many times where I couldn't get out of a situation that I had to have a lift that I then could have. So
It probably depends just on your situation, where you are, what the roads are like, what your driveway's like, a place you
yeah, I mean,
frequent.
there are some people who have a driveway that literally you can't get in the driveway without a suspension lift, and that's like,
Yep.
okay, well then, yeah, that makes sense. But like,
Yep.
I mean, I don't know, it's not that big of a deal.
I would say if the car had it, I would be excited, but I'm not going to say I don't want the car because it doesn't have
Right.
it.
Like if I found the perfect car and it had everything but didn't have the suspension lifter, I'm not going to be like, oh, never mind. And like and a lot of them you can actually add an aftermarket suspension lifter if you have to.
Mhm.
So is the honeymoon already over? Well, I mean, we're not working with them, so I would say that's, but we don't really want to discuss it, so we're not going to discuss.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, we're not going to discuss the AG at this point. Talk about Car Week and threw money on us. Yes, sir. We will do that. Car Week. It's only what, like 4 weeks away? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. So we're gonna be there the whole week. Myself, Josh, Tyler, Jocko, and Casey are all staying in the same house, and it's like on Pebble Beach. We got some VRBO. We have
Oh, nice.
What's that?
Quail tickets.
Mm,
Oh yeah.
there you go.
Oh yes. Look at that. Oh. VIP.
It's legit.
We rented. I'll let Dan tell you what car we rented on Turo.
Oh,
We got a
G-Wagon?
G-Wagon.
nice.
I was like, we need something that's stupid and comfortable. So we're like, oh, we should get. I was like, dude, we can get a G-Wagon.
It was cheap too.
It was pretty cheap. It was not bad.
I would say it's both.
It is. It is definitely both. Yeah. No, we're doing the quail this year. This will be my first time doing quail. So
Yeah, I'm excited.
Dude.
It's going to be cool.
this box is worth like $4,500 because it's got 4 wristbands in it, and each of those wristbands is $1,250.
Wow.
Is that a VIP wristband?
I don't.
Look like a parking.
Because I saw the parking pass said VIP.
Well, and I don't know if that is just like everyone says VIP.
I mean, lot A is probably the closest one, I would think.
Could be.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's got like a little piece of paper. It's like, Dear Quail Motorsports Enthusiast. I am super excited.
I hope
about
they
that.
serve you guys caviar and high class food.
I don't even know.
I mean,
I don't even care.
for what we paid, they should. I would think.
I hope it comes with
They'll
it.
probably give you a drink ticket, 1 drink voucher.
And then I'll say it probably doesn't even come with booze at all.
I'll get my Michelob Ultra and I'll be good.
Yeah. It will probably cost $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Quail, for those of you that don't know, is like probably one of the most desired events to go to during Monterey Car Week, except Pebble Beach. But I don't really care about Pebble Beach.
Well, also Quail is a lottery system, so even if you wanted to buy a ticket, you have to be selected.
Yeah, you got to put your name in and get the lottery or whatever. So we're going to be there all week, Monday through Sunday. So we fly in Monday night, we fly home Sunday afternoon. So we will be doing stuff. Yeah, I guess any of you who are going to be at Monterey Car Week, we were contemplating a few things. Number one, we wanted to kind of have fans meet us if we can do something like that. Obviously, we're going to be at the Quail. If you're there, you might run into us there. We are going to be doing Exotics on Broadway, so we have VIP access there. Although originally we were going to put in a car, but we don't have a car, so they actually
We're gonna
said
schmooze with the VIPs.
they said we could put the G-Wagon in.
We should do that. That'd be funny.
I think so, just because it's such a shit box. It's
Yeah.
a thorough rental G-Wagon.
Yeah.
Like, just, okay.
Well, at least if we do that, we can park inside there.
But then you can't leave until it's over.
Oh, that's true.
Which, I mean, whatever. Like, I don't care. We can hang out there all day. But yeah, so we're going to that. Those are the two events that we for sure are going to.
We're gonna go to Mecum. We'll go
Mecum.
to.
Oh yeah, that's right. We signed up for Mecum. We got.
I need to look at the run list and see if there's any cars to bid on because it'd be.
I
cool
have
if
a
we could
bidder's
buy
pass.
something there. Yeah.
I can bid. I've got a bidder's pass. So, but yeah, we should.
I bet
schedule
we
some
might
time.
actually. There's always deals at Mecum. Maybe we'll come home with something. One of us will.
Yeah. Man, I think I'm gonna wrap it up at 9:00 tonight, just because I'm seriously about to fall asleep. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm just like
Lifestyle
between
change.
just like working on the shop all the last few weeks and then not getting any sleep with my little man. I'm just like, we're not doing Concorso Italiano, unfortunately, because it conflicts with Exotics on Broadway.
Where is that usually? Concorso.
Somewhere in the area.
Oh, it's out there in Monterey.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I really want to go to that. Here you go. I'm about to do the gate conversion by 599. I'm torn about which company should do it. The one in Austin we all know that I'm hearing bad things about, or the group in New Jersey. Which is the better shop and which shop is better? I don't know anything about the one in New Jersey. So I really can't advise you on that. And I don't know, is the one in New Jersey just buying a kit from EAG? So I don't know. I would ask that question. Where is the group in New Jersey sourcing their parts? Because I'm pretty sure they're not sourcing OE parts. In fact, I'm confident of that because it would be very, very expensive if they were. So I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't. Here's the problem we're in right now is we're kind of in a holding pattern, and I can't really. Per the advice of my lawyers, I don't want to discuss anything about EAG at the moment.
We will eventually. We just can't do it right now.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily like I just have to leave it at that, right?
Yep.
Because anything I say can be some connotation or something.
Yes, the AC works phenomenally.
Really?
It's
Just keeping it
amazing.
cold?
I mean, the doors were open today, and they were doing the floor, and it was cool inside with the doors
Wow.
open, and it's 105 outside, so it's definitely working.
Yeah, the AC combined with the insulation is just
And the fans probably, right?
gold. There's only the one ceiling fan.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. All right. One last question. It's 9:00. I'm gonna fall asleep.
After driving the 575,
I don't know. I would say,
Really?
yeah.
man, we are not.
Gearbox wise, or
We are not with the AG. We have no direct relationship with them anymore. So, Exotic Cars USA. Yeah, I mean, I've heard them. I don't know about the quality of their work. Like I haven't driven one of their cars. I haven't seen it. I do know that they bought kits from EAG, but that's all I know. So, will I tell us your electric bill in a month? Yes, I will. All right, guys, I'm gonna go to bed. So, thank you all.
All right.
I'm tired. So,
Okay.
all right, we'll see you
everybody.
guys
See
next
everybody
week.
later.
Bye.
Bye.